Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I am Bonusri Das. Today I am going to teach you CBSE Class 11 first chapter, The Portrait of the Lady by Khushwant Singh from the book Hornbill. Khushwant Singh was an Indian writer born in 1815. He was also a lawyer and an editor. This is the real life account of Khushwant Singh. In this account, he had vividly described the honeytouch relationship between his grandmother and his. And from this story, he also described the universal theme, that is the divine ethereal relationship between the grandparents and the grandchildren. The grandchildren always remained under the grace of the grandparents. The grandparents, though they remained strict to their children for upbringing them, but they always pampered the grandchildren. So, in this account, he had vividly described the relationship between him and his grandmother in two phases. One phase in the village, another phase in the city. When the story opens, we see that Khushwant Singh introduces his grandmother as the usual grandmother that everyone has. And he describes that there was a portrait of his grandfather in the drawing room above the mantelpiece, suggested him that his grandfather might be 100 years of age without any wife and children, but with lots and lots of grandchildren. The neighborhood used to tell Khushwant Singh that his grandmother used to look very beautiful, very pretty at her young age. But Khushwant Singh failed to believe it because he had seen his grandmother remain stagnant in her figure 20 years. So he failed to believe that his grandmother used to be young or his grandmother used to be naughty in her old age. The wrinkles crisscrossed throughout her face. Khushwant Singh had beautifully gave a sketch appearance of the grandmother. She was fat, short height, and slightly bent, used to wear spotless white sari. He also compared his grandmother with the expanse of pure white serenity, that is the snow-covered mountain, to highlight the sanctity, the piousness, and the holiness of the grandmother. Her grandmother was having crisscross throughout her face, and the white locks of her hair used to fall on her pale pallor, which exaggerated her beauty. Moreover, she used to place one hand on the waist to prevent her from stooping, and also other hand she used to engage in rosary chanting. Continuously she used to chant mantras, audible and inaudible prayers. Khushwant Singh's relationship became more darker, more honey-touched when his father and mother went to the city for job. Khushwant Singh's grandmother took entire responsibility to groom Khushwant Singh when he was in the village with the grandmother. She used to wake him up in the morning, she used to bath him, she used to prepare him properly, nurtured him properly, and she used to feed him with stale chapatis along with butter and sugar. And she used to escort him to the school, which was in the attachment of the temple where the priest was the teacher. During the time of nurturing or grooming him, she used to engage herself in inaudible and audible prayers in the want of that Khushwant Singh might listen and learn it. But Khushwant Singh felt less interested on it, but he liked her voice. So he used to listen it minutely instead of learning. She used to take him to the school and used to sit there and read the Holy Scripture. After the school hours, she used to escort him back to the house And while returning back to the house, she used to feed the stale chapattis to the village dogs, and the village dogs used to jostle around up to their house gate. And the relationship drastically changed when Khushwant Singh was called to the city. When his father settled in the city, Khushwant Singh, along with his grandmother, came to the city and got admission in an English medium school where English words, along with little things of Western science and learning the law of gravity, Archimedes' principle, and the other things were taught in the school. So, grandmother failed to escort Khushwant Singh in his studies, and she also got sad when she learned that music was imparted in their school. According to her, music was only allotted for the harlot or the beggars. Khushwant Singh and the grandmother used to stay in a single room that was only the united bonding of them. But when Khushwant Singh went to the university, he was given a separate room. Grandmother accepted her seclusion with resignation in their relationship. She used to spend her time in feeding the sparrows at the afternoon, and that was the best moment of her life. And from the morning till night evening, she used to spend his time by turning the wheel. And when Khushwant Singh decided to go to abroad for further education, he felt scared whether grandmother would accept it or not. But grandmother, after learning the aspiration of Khushwant Singh, he escorted him to the station, and during the time of departure, she bathed him with a last kiss on the forehead. Khushwant Singh perceived that this might be the last physical touch with his grandmother. Might he would not be able to see his grandmother after returning back from the abroad. But it was a very astonishing that when Khushwant Singh returned from abroad after 5 years, he saw that grandmother was standing in the station to welcome him. And she had not changed a little in her physical appearance. But the family members of Khushwant Singh perceived a little change in the grandmother's behavior during evening. The grandmother called many neighborhood women, and along with them, she took a untuned sagged drum and started to play and sang the homecoming warrior along with them. She got overexhausted. The family members persuaded her to stop this exhaustion, but she didn't. She continued it. The next day, she fell ill. Doctor came and informed everyone that this was a minor fever that would be cured. But Khushwant Singh's grandmother informed everyone that she had committed a sin because she had exempted herself from chanting the mantras or chanting the prayers for the first time in her life at the evening. So, the death was beckoning her, and the time had come for her final departure, and pleaded the family members not to disturb her because she wanted to engage herself in her last prayers. She took the rosary and started to chant. Suddenly, the rosary fell and the grandmother died. When the body was prepared and kept in the courtyard to take for final cremation, the sparrows came. Without chirruping, they just roamed about the dead body of the grandmother. Khushwant Singh's mother thought probably the sparrow came to get their food So she threw some breadcrumbs towards them. Nobody paid attention to it. They all roamed about, and then they flew away when the body was taken for cremation. On the other hand, when the sun set, the reddish yellow light of the sun rays illuminated the face of the grandmother when the body was laid in the courtyard, as if the setting sun was also giving her the last tribute. When the body was taken for cremation, and Khushwant Singh, after cremation, came back, standing at the window at the morning, he saw the sweepers were just sweeping the breadcrumbs towards the dustbin. He then perceived that the sparrows also came for the final tribute to pay to the grandmother. This was all for this chapter. And now I am going to discuss some important question. So, give the character sketch of the grandmother. That is a probable question. Moreover, the second probable question will be how Khushwant Singh describes his grandmother with various things to highlight her serenity. Third probable question will be the difference between the relationship of Khushwant Singh in the city and in the village. And the fourth probable question will be how the sparrows and the setting sun bid final goodbye to the grandmother. And another question is how grandmother spent her fruitful time in the city. That is all for this lesson. That is all for today. Till the next video, stay blessed, stay happy.